No, I just need to do the hard sell.
So when you're ready,
Yep, so I'll do the Mozartists first. In September 2017, Classical Opera is launching a brand new subsection of our work called the Mozartists. When we first started out 20 years ago, we were exclusively focused on opera, and as we've developed, our concert work has really taken off and our repertoire continues to widen. And now we have such a fantastic ensemble of singers and players. It felt important to have a name that reflected the wider breadth of our repertoire and our work. So the Mozartists will be used for all the work that we do from now on that is concert work. We'll retain classical opera every time we're doing a complete opera, be it a recording, a production or a concert performance. But everything that is a concert program will be under the name of the Mozartists. There's something playful and it places who we are. Mozart is absolutely central to what we do and will always be so. Not only the music itself, but the spirit behind the music and what Mozart represented. And the sort of combination of playfulness and profundity is a constant inspiration to us. And even when we're performing music by widely different composers, the spirit of Mozart is always central to our ethos. Kind of? Is that right?
Well, it's slightly in the dark, because
Yeah, I think so. Shall I just have another go just to see what comes out in case?
Try and play it a bit more upbeat if you can.
Yeah.
You could use your hands if you like.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you normally do that. So. Some people like to.
Yeah.
Feel free to do that if you want to.
Okay, thanks. Just get a brain and go. So in 2017, we're launching the Mozartists, which is a new brand under which we will be expanding our concert work, and it gives us fantastic license to cover the whole gamut of Mozart's music, not just his operas, but all the other stuff, plus all the work of his contemporaries. And it's really exciting to have this remit now to be broadening our horizons and reaching new audiences and extending our repertoire. Let's just do a bit more. Singers and singing will remain completely central to who we are, but I think our orchestra as well has become such a strong component and so central to our identity. The Mozartists enables us to place them at the centre of our work and to develop the concert work beyond, and the range of possibilities are made so much wider, and it's a very exciting time for the company.
Okay, you want to go to the 250?
Yep. Which is one of those things that it's so hard to explain
what
concisely. Yeah, yeah. So Mozart 250 is a big project that we've conceived over the last few years, and we launched it in 2015. Essentially, it's a 27-year journey through Mozart's life and career in chronological sequence in real time. So every year we travel back in time exactly 250 years ago and explore not only the music that Mozart himself was writing, but also the music that he was listening to, the music that was being composed by other people, regardless of whether Mozart would have known it or not, and just placing Mozart's work in its context. It's already in its third year and has proved a fantastic vehicle and a fantastic way of bringing an audience on a journey with us. And as we grow with Mozart's music, the audience are just able to follow the journey with us. That started off all right, and then I got lost a bit.
Is there a concise way of saying of what Mozart 250 is in a few words, and then go into more of the description after that? It almost needs explaining quickly.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah. So Mozart 250, I always say so at the beginning, which is not very helpful for editing, is it?
It's the latest thing to say. It's always on Radio 4.
Mozart 250 is a 27-year project which goes back exactly 250 years in time, and we follow Mozart's life and career in chronological sequence. So we began in 2015, which was the 250th anniversary of Mozart's first symphony, his first arias, and his childhood visit to London, where he learned a lot of, he really developed his craft and started life in a way as a composer. And we follow it all the way through to 2041, which is the 250th anniversary of his death. So every year in between, we will explore the exact year 250 years previously, placing Mozart's life, works and development in the context of what was going on around him, both musically and historically. It's a fantastic vehicle, partly for unearthing pieces that otherwise wouldn't necessarily have a justification for being revived, and just to explore what the influences were, what elements of Mozart are unique to him, and what are, in which respects he's a product of his time. And we've found it's a really wonderful way to share a journey of discovery with audiences.
That was good. That was much more interesting because you actually described what it really was.
Yeah, yeah.
I would just wonder if you want to go back to the Mozartists and do the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
So really tell me what it's about, what it is.
The Mozartists is a brand new ensemble devoted to exploring the work of Mozart and his contemporaries. With our repertoire will range from early Mozart, Haydn, through to Beethoven, even Schubert. Mozart will always be central. I can do that better, I think.
Okay, so again with that one.
Yeah. The Mozartists is a brand new ensemble that has been born out of the work of classical opera, and is a concert-giving entity. It's too soon, isn't it? Okay.
You're in the right direction. At least I understand what it is.
Yeah. The Mozartists is a brand new ensemble which places the works of Mozart and Haydn and Beethoven as the central core of what we do. It's grown out of the work of classical opera, which I started nearly 20 years ago, and our exploration of Mozart's operas in particular has led us to widen our remit and our repertoire. And our concert work has now taken off to such an extent that we felt we needed a new entity and a new brand with which to undertake our exploration of this work. So as well as Mozart, Haydn and Beethoven, we're continuing to explore all the works of his contemporaries and finding a context and telling the story and unearthing new gems that people haven't necessarily come across before, but also placing the masterpieces of Mozart's maturity into their context. With our orchestra of fantastic period instrument, sorry. Yeah. With our orchestra of fantastic period instrument players, we've found a fantastic way over the years of exploring this repertoire and really coming to terms with it. And we've built up now a shared understanding, so that whenever we come to new repertoire that we've never performed before. Sorry, I'm jumping up there.
I would start again with our orchestra.
Yeah.
You want to draw them in, and they're so important.
Yeah. With our orchestra, we've established this fantastic ensemble and a fantastic sort of vehicle to explore this music, and with the period instruments to recreate the colours and the sound world that Mozart wrote for. And it really brings this repertoire to life, and there's so many fresh discoveries to be made, even with a composer as well known and revered as Mozart.
That was great, that last bit.
Good.
Tack that onto the other bit.
Yeah.
You know, and take a few fluffs out, should I?
Great. So is that enough, do you think? I think so, because again, it's just a 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's more about just explaining what the thing is.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah. And they're all quite difficult things.
Recording.
Right. Within Mozart 250, we are presenting at the beginning of each year a cross-section of repertoire being written in that particular year, 250 years previously. And that vehicle gives us a fantastic opportunity to travel back in time and to really get a specific flavour of what Mozart's life was doing, what the music was sounding like. And we've found the feedback from the first few concerts has been that a lot of people have said that when they read books about musical history, they expect music to sound all the same in a particular year. And actually what they've discovered is that there's a wide variety of music. Of course, you know, different composers have different personalities. There may be a specific idiom, or the language may be developed in a particular way at any given time. But there are always individuals creating their own different versions of things. And to be able to follow Mozart's life in sequence and just to take these very specific cross-sections is a really valuable ally in understanding Mozart's music and his sound world and everything that he stood for.